For the past 3 weeks, I've been trying my attempt at developing a Shopify app and publishing it on the Shopify marketplace. For example, if you're not familiar with Shopify, Shopify has a huge marketplace with a bunch of apps that allow merchants who are people who own Shopify stores and sell stuff on the platform. They have the option to install all these apps that basically allow you to enhance your web store, and it does all these different things. Every app promotes some sort of way to enhance your platform and make more sales and stuff. And I was pretty motivated because um, I've worked within Shopify for a while as just a generalist, but you know, um, when I was viewing the App Store, I realized there's a lot of apps that are focused on UI and front end stuff, like this banner announcement bar. There's like carousels and sliders, and people actually make money doing these things. Um, if you notice, a lot of these apps have free tiers, but then they also have a paywall that unlocks other features. So I was thinking maybe I could develop something. But before I even, my idea was just to learn as I go and not even think about monetization. And the app that I basically came up with was a simple countdown hero that you see here. And this is fully customizable. If you look on the right side, there's all these parameters that you could um, customize, like the color, the background, where the button page link goes. This is all customizable within using the theme editor API. For example, if hello world, you could add your own content and stuff, and it has pre-built themes. So this was basically my idea that I had in my mind. And within the last 3 weeks, I was coding within the Shopify app development space, and this is the end product. And you could, let me just demo some stuff for you here. You could actually upload some GIFs, and I think that looks pretty cool. And this could be a useful tool for like promotional purposes, limited, like a limited window of a sale, like a seasonal sale or a new drop of an item. You could get pretty creative with it. And you know you set your countdown end date, and you could select the symbol for the divider. For example, you see here it uses the colons, the two dots, but if you want more of a aesthetic look, you could do the lines, or you could do none. You have all these options, and I thought this would be a cool thing to offer for free for Shopify users to install on their platform. But it's not yet on the App Store because I ran into some hurdles, and I want to talk about that in a bit. But before that, I do want to show off some more features. For example, you could invert the layout. I was pretty passionate about this simple project. I know it's not life changing or anything, but I didn't really see any other Shopify apps that offered a UI like this. If you were a Shopify store owner and you wanted something like this, you would probably have to develop it yourself. And I thought maybe I could be that developer that offers this app for free on the App Store. And it is responsive too. So on mobile, it looks clean. It'll um, scale down properly, and you could also invert the layout on mobile. So like that. And yeah, it looks pretty clean. Let's save this, and let me go to the actual page so you can see how it looks. And then you click on the button. So this button's not set, but you can set it in the settings. And there's a lot more customization options, but I don't want to go over that now. What I do want to quickly talk about is my experience trying to develop a Shopify app. And I wanted to let maybe new developers who were curious and let you guys know that initially it is easy to get your feet wet and start building stuff within the Shopify app platform. But what I did run into That became a little bit stressful, and there was a steep learning curve for newcomers like myself. Is the process to actually launch a Shopify app within the marketplace. So if you want an app to show up in the App Store like this, like what you see here, Shopify actually has a really strict list of regulations and practices that you have to pass. They have a ton of tests that are automated. So when you submit your app to the Shopify App Store, it has to pass these tests. And then on top of that, the next step would be one of their employees, like a human being, will actually test it. And then they'll make sure that it has all the requirements. And if it doesn't, they'll reach out to you and tell you what you need to fix. And I've submitted my app twice so far, and I'm gonna have to do it a third time because it was rejected twice. The first time it was rejected was because I didn't have authentication, and that was a quick fix, and it made sense because of security protocols and stuff like that. The second time it got rejected was pretty stressful in my opinion, and it wasn't really that big of a deal. But I'm gonna have to fix it and submit it a third time. So the second time it was rejected is because every what I was told was every time not, that every Shopify app needs to have an operational admin page with clickable buttons, and you could it has to be it has to have content and have like fields and buttons and things that you could interact with um that will alter the behavior of your app. So the admin page needs to be a controller for your app. And I didn't really understand that, and that wasn't really made clear when I first stepped into this. And what I mean by that, if you're a little bit confused, so whenever you install a Shopify app, it will show up in this drop down menu. For example, there's a geolocation, right? So you click on geolocation. This is a built in Shopify app. It has like, this login thing, it has this customized thing, it has all this stuff. Let me move my face. It has all this stuff that you see here. You see all like the background, like these options you could click on. I didn't think that was necessary because, as you saw before, to customize the component that I built, you do it in the theme editor. But that doesn't really matter to them because what I thought was fine was that on the admin page for my Supreme Countdown Hero banner app was that I just included a setup guide with screenshots and instructions. But apparently this is not good enough, so I have to update this page to include what I think would probably need to be the parameters to customize what you see here, but instead of just the theme editor, maybe have it here. But I'm also thinking, what if I just include one button that says disable or enable, and would that be good enough? Or do they want a full-on interaction, like a full-on controller within the admin page that will, interact with the countdown component here? So it's either I just do a cheap, quick way where I just add a single button on that page, or I have to carry literally all these parameters on the right side into this admin page here. So that's annoying. But I'm way in too deep in this project of mine. I've paid the $20 Shopify Marketplace fee because there is a $20 fee that you need to pay before you start submitting things. And I paid it, and I already paid to set up my server on Fly.io, which is where this app is hosted on. So I've already sank in money into this free app that I'm not even going to make money off of. But it's a passion project, and this is what it means to be a dev these days. You do shit and you don't even get paid for it. But I'm in too deep. I'm going to share my journey here, and this is my first time trying to create something on the Shopify App Store and trying to have something useful show up here. And hopefully the third time I submit this app, it will go through and it will be published on the marketplace, and I could have it as experience and probably put it on my resume or something. But until then, I'm gonna have to be working on this freaking page here. And what's funny is the easiest part of this project was the actual app itself. Was building this whole customizable component and integrating it within Shopify stores. This was the easy part. This was the fun part that I was very comfortable with. But when it came to actually like learning how to go through the Shopify Partners program and pass all the regulations and tests and submitting it and hosting the app, that was a whole learning curve. So just heads up to you if you're watching this as someone that wants to know and wants to know how it is for a new developer. Um, it's easy at first. Well, it depends on your idea that you're trying to build, but they have really good documentation, and I think for the most part, if you're driven enough, you could build it locally and you'll be pretty comfortable. But when you start launching it and having a human like review it and making sure that you have every single requirement that passes, you're most likely gonna fail at least once and redo something or update something, um, because there's just so many, uh, like there's a whole list of things that your app needs to actually pass before they consider looking at it. Um, but yeah, that's what I've been building on Shopify, and I'm gonna be working on this and trying to please the gods at Shopify, and hopefully this project will show up here, and I will have a follow up video and show off my very first public app that I hopefully will ever hopefully will have published by then. So there you go. That's just something. This is just a passion project video, I guess, and you know, hopefully this was informative to anyone watching.